I would have to say the thought process of leadership and how we could develop it collaboratively across the region. As a person who's lived my whole life in this region, there's been a lack of leadership development here or leadership collaboration. And so just to hear people even begin to mention it on a regional level is a positive step.
The speed of change and how if we are not trying to be in front of it, we're going to be left behind.
You know, the future of the environment with water scarcity as a major issue, food scarcity as an issue, I think gives us a real potential here in the region to capitalize on the assets we already have and make a big improvement, not only in how we stack up locally, but around the world too.
I think some of the technology trends that we're seeing in the U.S., especially military technologies as they relate to Robins Air Force Base, are going to have a major impact into the future throughout Middle Georgia, because those industries that we need to do new technologies and new mission sets coming out to the base are also going to drive innovation in the local community as well.
It's a definite need. The realistic approach there, when we looked at one industry growing and the rest of them shrinking, I think that's happened for years here in Middle Georgia with the base, because it is such a huge economic engine. But I think people finally realize that for us to continue to grow, that we must focus on other areas and we must become less reliant on the federal dollars.
I am very excited about the opportunity because we do have a lot of assets across the region, and it's about everybody figuring out how they fit together in a larger vision. When you look across, each county has their own set of good things to bring to, whether it's in their natural assets like water or land and rolling hills, or harvest, being able to harvest timber or agriculture, or it is in the capacity for manufacturing, that sort of thing, and it's about them all being explored.
It is essential that we work better together than we have in many instances, and diversification, I think, is going to be the tool that prepares us much better for not only the economy that we have today, but the economy that's moving forward in the 21st century as well too.
I think the biggest challenge is going to be leadership, community leadership and elected leadership, having the trust and understanding and appreciation of the individual assets that we have that can move the region forward.
The biggest challenge going forward is to get it all done. There's a lot of things happening, a lot quicker than what they used to be, and we were not going to have the time to debate as we used to, so we're going to have to really move the ball forward quicker.
The ability to build trust and build those relationships between communities that may not always be trusting one another right now is definitely the biggest obstacle we have. But I think that today was a great step forward in starting to build some of those connections.
You know, we're territorial, even not outside of the education, even in the education realm, we're territorial and we want to do well, and we often compare ourselves to each other. But I think just realizing that we're in this together and working toward a sense of collaboration and being successful in that way, and then really the success of preparing our students either for post-secondary education or for the workforce.
I would say the discussion on water, that was pretty, I'd never really thought about it before, so that was great.
I just think the small group collaboration, bringing partners across the table from all the different entities, the government and private partnerships, to focus on an effort of how we can improve.
Just hearing everybody talk about the trends, but there are some trends that we all knew, but just to hear everybody in a collaborative measure talk about all of the trends, the ones that we knew and the ones that we didn't. Region needs to be more collaborative, talk more as a region as a whole. We do talk about it in silos, but we need to be more definitive in what we're talking about and be more deliberate and act accordingly.
Well, I don't think it was a surprise to me, but there was an awful lot of conversation about education, and especially our K-12 education in the region, and the need for us to collaborate more and work to support economic development. when we start talking about recruiting and getting businesses to come to our area, that they do look at the successes of our education system, and I think sharing successes with each other and making sure that we're all making progress toward quality, viable workforce, then that just betters our region.
Seeing the community getting excited about being able to support not only Robins Air Force Base, but growth throughout all of Middle Georgia. The problem that we have in Middle Georgia right now is a distinct resiliency issue and a reliance on the military industrial complex out there. As a community, we've got to be able to sustain multiple industries so that if anything was to ever happen to the mission sets we have out there, or they change dramatically, that we're able to adjust to whatever those changes might be.